going through it all. Very much I feel like the way Japanese cinema in the 70s and 80s work. I'm thinking like, if anyone's ever seen like a Takeshi Kitano movie, Sonatin and Fireworks, Kikujiro, another Japanese director too. Movies by Shohei Imamura. They're just these like really interesting narratives where a character interacts with many different people and we maneuver and steer ourselves through these different perspectives in order to find characterization of the self and the decisions that our narrator makes. Kawakami has this like natural economy of words to her that makes things go down so easily. Very much enjoyed this book, and if I'm to compare, probably my favorite Kawakami thus far, tied somewhere between Heaven and Kawakami. I think Heaven because of its sheer size and impactfulness, but Breasts and Eggs for the ride. Very much enjoyed. Totally forgot. Wanted to film this video with my boobie. Look at this boobie. I can't recall where I got it from, but it's like a stress ball. But I've had this since like 2017, I want to say, 2018. And we're in 2023, right? So this is quite an old boobie. But yes, Breasts and Eggs. What else did I want to say? Yeah, I don't want to spoil the book, but the last few pages I read with my mother, and we had quite a very interesting conversation about how I was born and just all of that experience, that pain, that pleasure, that beautiful feeling that I'll never understand, but it was there in my mother's eyes, and it was just such a really touching moment. Given that I don't visit home very often, and, you know, our time is temporary, and just like really makes you think, this book, the people that you interact with, what you've adopted from them, how they've influenced your decisions and changes in your own life, even your word choice. It's just really interesting, these tiny little impacts. 5 degrees of separation, ripples in water, just like all of these tiny little things, they add up and you become you. But yes, very interesting for something to come out of 2019, published in Japan, and then 2020 by Europa Editions. Kawakami's, she's got the breasts, the eggs, and the balls to be talking about this kind of stuff in, you know, very still conservative contemporary Japan about artificial insemination and views on children. Just really, really interesting. Having the tough conversations. Enthralling. And can't wait to hear the rest of Pato's ideas and thoughts. I had to read in one sitting my dear friend, Mish! My friend Mish, who published a collection of poems beginning of 2023. Skin of Nocturnal Apple. And he did the collage himself. Beautiful, beautiful collage. In fact, characterizes very much the content of this collection, which I think examines skin. It really looks at skin, touch, skinship, and how intimacies interact with each other. And they're just words adjacent to each other that I would never think of, but I think bleed into a richer sense of how you see the world and how you perceive the world. I really love this blurb by Wolfgang Tillmans. On the back here it says, "Opening the pages of Misha's book is instantly satisfying. A calm sets in. My eyes dive into the words, and then he puts his finger on something in a way I can recognize like no picture can do. Because it isn't so much photographic as it is so steeped into the senses, and how the bodies within these texts discover each other and how they perceive one another. And this perception you can only get by the taste of salt on the skin or by the taste of one's eyes." And yeah, let me just read one of these poems for you. We have Interlude. split up into these acts, but I'm going to read Act 1 for you. This is reality, not fiction. I have seen love and want, always on my strange visions, dreams, and even beauty. Yours is already more important, and I want to remember forever the words of roses, beer, the smell of eyes, the premises of the disease, about a kiss, understanding words, breaking hearts, preparing for a kiss, on the trees a crimson touch on transparent films, curbing closed, covered, blurred, liberated. Just the staccato syntax between all of these words feels beautiful, like grabbing a bunch of wildflowers from all areas of a garden, holding them up and smelling them all at once. All of these senses are so strong, poignant, and very, very floral in approach to speech. Sounding them out and reading them out loud feels strange, almost in this like wonderful way. But yes, definitely recommend picking this up to see words differently. And I love anything where I can pick up a text and yeah, not just see the world differently, but read differently. And reminds me a lot about like what Ocean Vuong said about his poetry in a podcast or talk he did. But he brought up, you know, those like funny shirts in Chinatown, Canal Street, anywhere in a foreign country, and the English doesn't make sense on a t-shirt, and there's almost this whimsy to it, but there's a beauty in it. It's, you know, an abstraction of language to create this sense of newness that, sure, may not make sense, but has this like funny bone feeling to it all that's quite wonderful. And I think that's what this collection is very much. Read it on the train home yesterday, and just a joy, just a joy. I was so surprised when I found it at my favorite bookstore in LA, Skylight Books. Their curation is just absolutely wonderful, and they pick up not only books that are incredibly hard to find, but books I've like never ever heard of, small presses, very, very wonderful. So yeah, was so enthralled when I saw this, because there had been like a shipping issue and I haven't had my hands on it yet. But yes, I have a copy coming from the UK, but just felt I needed to pick this up and read it immediately, because I've been wanting to read it ever since I, you know, touched US soil. So yes, Skin of Nocturnal Apple, good friend Misha. And of course I had to, you know, do some book shopping, and this is it. This is no more books, because I've already like I have this. Let me show you. Can I show you? It may not look like a lot, or maybe it is, but this is one of the double Muji gusset cases for packing your clothes. It's heavy. It's filled with books. There's more than 20 books in here. Not to mention how I'm going to pack these as well. Yeah, don't ask me how. And in addition, these books that I picked up from Skylight Books. Olga Ravn's The Employees. Yeah, I've been meaning to read it for a while. Aboard the interstellar 6000 ship, the human and humanoid crew members complain about their daily tasks in a series of staff reports and memos. When the ship takes on a number of strange objects from the planet New Discovery, the crew becomes deeply attached to them, even as tensions boil toward mutiny, especially among the humanoids. Chilling, crackling, exhilarating prose. Probes into what makes us human while delivering a hilariously stinging critique of life governed by the logic of productivity. Yeah, so yeah, just love that. Yes, little sci-fi, social critique on life in the workplace, it seems. Always love that. So yeah, very excited to read this. And then, I've never heard of this person before, but thought it was really interesting. This is Jarett Kobek's Atta, which is a story that repeats itself. A man or his parents parents come to America. Hard work, toil, and obscurity amongst unknown wretches. Great open land. The one who works hardest reaps eventual rewards, rises to prominence, achieves great things, makes himself a name. Sounds great, right? Well, let me tell you, it's a fictional account of one of the airplane hijackers of 9/11. And I just thought that was such an interesting, compelling narrative to fictionalize. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. I saw the very few Goodreads reviews on it, and I was like, this sounds so like on the tightrope of being very, very dangerous in what it's trying to achieve. And I'm going to give it a chance. And yeah, Atta. Just a narrative I don't think I would pick up, but here I am. Here it is in my hands. So very curious about this. And then, last but not least, finally, cross country, East Coast to West Coast, have my copy of Chelsea Girls by Eileen Myles. Been wanting to read Eileen Myles, but never got the chance. But here it is. We'll do a buddy read of this with Sophie from Bibliosophie. Very, very excited. This was the last copy at Skylight Books. And, you know, after I met Sophie, because we were trying to look for a copy of Chelsea Girls, I jumped into like 2 or 3 other bookstores, could not find Chelsea Girls. Went to a few here as well before Skylight Books, and I think some of it will show up in the vlog. I don't know what happened yesterday, but I like, there were portions of the day where I was like, I should probably vlog this, and then like totally either forgot about it, and then, but did remember to, I don't know. I'm just, sorry, last few days here, we are in the last remaining days of my time here, and it's just been such a major blur. But yeah, anyway, sorry. Chelsea Girls, Eileen Myles, here it is in my hands. Breathtaking, inventive, autobiographical novel, Myles transforms their life into a work of art, told in audacious and singular voice, made vivid and immediate in lyrical language. Cobble's memories of Myles' 1960s Catholic upbringing with an alcoholic father, their volatile adolescence, and unabashed lesbianity, and their riotous pursuit of survival as a poet in 1970s New York. Yes, alcohol, drugs, sex, evocative. Yeah, Chelsea Girls. In addition to the books I'm bringing with me. So I just don't want to bother my family with having to send me books all the time, because, you know, access is tough in Korea. What do you do with like immense taste and ravenous reading in a place where it's so hard to find books? Does one pay those shipping costs? How much does one need to make? More than the 70 and 80 hour work week that they work in order to afford this bookish life. No, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be reading all of these books. Yes. I totally forgot. Also, finally started Sula by Toni Morrison, because I'm doing a buddy read with Katie James. Very much enjoying people and place through Morrison's writing, and focus on sort of, what do they call it? Is it the bottom? Yes, the bottom. Let me read this portion for you, because I think it actually sets the tone of the book and sort of the incredible nature of Morrison's writing in mind. But in that place where they tore the nightshade and blackberry patches from the roots to make room for the Medallion City golf course, there was once a neighborhood. It stood in the hills above the valley town of Medallion and spread all the way to the river. It is called the suburbs now, but when black people lived there, it was called the bottom. One road, shaded by beeches, oaks, maples, and chestnuts, connected it to the valley. The beeches are gone now, and so are the pear trees where children sat and yelled down through the blossoms to passerby. And then 1 or 2 pages after, through dialogue, a white farmer and a slave in conversation. The slave asks a question about where the bottom is, and then the master said, "Oh no, see those hills? That's bottom land, rich and fertile." "But it's high up in the hills," said the slave. High up from us, said the master, but when God looks down, it's the bottom. That's why we call it so. It's the bottom of heaven, best land there is. But yeah, just through the nature of social relationships at the time and these characters that interact with each other in this land really sets the tone of who we are and where we come from. I'm not quite far yet, a mere 50 pages or so, but enjoying it a lot, enjoying the portraits that Morrison paints of these people and how they just interact with each other. Can't wait to share my thoughts with Katie, Sula, Toni Morrison. And yes, that's as far as updates go. I hope you're doing well and you're not as chaotic and insane as me right now. I feel so... And let me tell you, I got like an adequate amount of sleep last night, but I don't know what it is. It is also hot today too. Like winter is over in Southern California. I don't know what it is. It's a mix of like fatigue, end of the trip feels, lots of plans still. I have dinner reservations tonight, a bit of work to do, and then Friday and Saturday are pretty 2 full days, and I fly out Sunday early morning, so I also have to pack, you know, make sure the laundry's and just all that boring stuff. I don't want to get into it, and I don't want to, this video is already way too long, so I hope you're doing well. No, I always do that. Okay, here's my thing. Whenever I do my outro, before I do my outro, it's fucking booby, I swear to God, just stay there. I always say, hope you're doing well, and then immediately after I say, be well. Okay, so here we go. Be well, do good work, keep in touch. It's Friday. Doing things today. Meeting a very special guest today. My best friend. Hometown. Fit breakdown. Costs. Still coming in clutch. I think I wore this yesterday. And I totally forgot I had this shirt. La Bomba. Jacques Mousse. For Printemps Bété. I think in 2018? Yes, there she is. 2018. And these jeans. Ow. Yeah, doing some things. Visiting some architectural sites in Southern California that are overlooked, so excited to do that. And then, yeah, I think drinks at the end of the night tonight, but yes, let's go.
So many good albums out today.
You know.
It's Friday. Right.
Today we're vlogging. Look at this. What are we doing?
Hi, Nathan Snookers. We're going to Fingerprints Record Store in Long Beach, California.
Nice. Yes, that's what we're doing. And pizza? Are we also doing pizza?
Oh, yeah? I'm down. I'm gonna eat all day, every day.
All day, every day.
We just got out of the vinyl store, record store, and Nathan got a book.
I got Libra by Don Tula.
Yeah.
What are we doing now?
Stay tuned for some more exciting content.
Two pieces each. The more the merrier.
It's like you're multiplying from there.
I think it's 230.
You think?
I'm still scrolling up. I'm scrolling
What time is it?
Party time! That concludes today's vlog. Bye, Nathan's Snooker.
Hi, hello. We're crossing through
Hi.
Lakma. Oh, hi.
Fancy seeing you here.
This is Richard.
You remember me from the previous vlog?
I don't know how I'll edit this, but we're headed to the where are we going?
We're going to the Academy Museum. Something that we've won.
We've been wanting to do this for a long while.
Ever since it opened.
Yes.
And now we finally have the chance.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's right there.
Oh my god. Okay, sorry.
Here.
Here we go.
Look, there it is. The Academy Museum.
the same time.
I actually learned how to do I learned a lot of fictional technique from writing movies.